I was the kid who had conversations with the wind, had trees as her friends, and would get out of bed at night to go to the window so she could stare at the stars. As a child, I did not have much trouble with being the way I was. But as a teenager, I did notice more and more that I was different than most of the other kids. They almost all enjoyed going to parties, dancing with the music way too loud, giving drugs and alcohol a try, while I would rather meet with a single or not more than a handful of friends to cook something together, watch a movie, talk for hours, and have a sleepover. My friends enjoyed these moments as well, but as we got older and I more often did not participate in their new endeavors, I started to feel more lonely. As a child, I have been called naive many times. I've been called a dreamer, someone who over-romanticizes things, and of course, sensitive and emotional. But I have also been called a very good friend, someone who listens and genuinely tries to help, someone who understands what the other person is going through and feels, without the need of many words. I felt proud of that. I was the kid who always had art and music as her favorite classes in school. I was the one who would make her friends laugh with little drawings in our friendship books. I was the singer of the school's jazz band, and I was also the one that needed extra lessons in mathematics outside of school. When I think back to that time, the one thing that still sits heavy in my heart is friendship. It's something I still can't fully understand, even today. And it's strange because just last night I dreamt about this girl that I used to be so close with. Someone whose absence still hurts. Back in middle school or high school, I'm never quite sure what the right English word is. Friendship felt like the strongest part of my life. I had a small circle and two friends in particular who meant the world to me for so many years. We would share everything with each other. We had no secrets with each other. We would go through so many difficult and beautiful times together and cheer each other on. We would talk for so many hours, and as soon as we got home after school, we would call each other on the phone to continue our conversation. Gosh, it feels really hard to talk about it. I didn't expect it to be that hard, actually. But I feel all these emotions coming up again. When I talk about her, you know, that one friend who I feel still, unfortunately, feel really hurt by. You know, maybe that's also a highly sensitive thing, a trait that we have, because, you know, they say that we feel everything deeper, on a deeper level. So maybe also the hurt, you know, when we are hurt, we feel it deeper and maybe also longer. I don't know. So I actually really don't know how to heal it. So maybe talking about it is the best thing I can do. I'm not sure. But that friend who I again saw in my dreams tonight, which happens every once in a while, I really felt she was my closest friend for so many years, for 6-7 years, you know, going all the way from being a child to really being a young woman. We did that together, all the challenges that come with it, school, boys, everything. We talked about everything. And I felt really understood by her. I felt really seen by her. She was a good listener, and she really got my sense of humor as well, more than any other of my friends. So that was just awesome. I had such a good time with her, and I still love her for that, you know. She gave me so many beautiful years. And you know, those beautiful parts that we had, I miss that, I do. Now in my 30s, life looks so different, friendship looks so different. I had no idea when being young that this could change like this, you know. It was such a stable thing for so many years, and it felt like it would always be like that, you know. It felt like a safe haven. And it wasn't. And I still cannot wrap my head around how this can so drastically change, you know. So what happened with that friend is, as we got older into the last years of middle school, our perspective of life, of the world, we would have more and more differences, you know, and disagreements with each other. But I didn't care so much about that, actually. And maybe she did more than I did, I'm not sure. We were on the school trip, and she would just suddenly, like literally, turn her back on me. It was so weird. There was just this one night, and she would, I really don't understand what happened in her mind. We went together in that bus on that school trip to Italy, and we would come back separated. I would not sit next to her anymore in the bus, because that one night she just went to the group of kids that we always did not connect with, and she would talk trash about me, which even those people felt weird about. And to this day, after so many years, I don't know why. And that's how it ended. It's unbelievable. I just never talked to her again. We would go separate ways in school teachers found that very odd as well, because we were so close all these years, you know. It was such a weird sight. And I felt so abandoned, and I didn't understand the reason. And feeling abandoned is such a horrible feeling, you know. Gosh. It was so weird. And it still hurts. And she didn't finish the school. And then she was just gone. And I never talked to her again. I never saw her again. Except for in my dreams. And sometimes I dream that we're friends again, that like nothing happened. And sometimes it did happen, like tonight, and there's this awkwardness between us. Anyway, this might be one of the challenges of being highly sensitive. Like, also the hurtful stuff that happens in life can be felt so deeply, and it can be so hard to let go of it, to really get it out of your system, you know? Anyway, I hope she's doing well, and I hope she's living her best life. And there's this one part of me who would love to see her again. And there's this part of me that is so deeply hurt that I could not imagine facing her, you know, and talking to her. Hi, birdie. So friendship is a hard one, yeah. Now in my 30s, being a mother, and I don't know, after becoming a mother, the highly sensitivity seemed to just really increase. I didn't know that I was highly sensitive before becoming a mother, and when I became a mother and I suddenly had so many struggles mentally, then I realized that I was a highly sensitive person, and it made so much sense suddenly, everything. But I definitely feel like I also became more sensitive through becoming a mother. And now friendship is quite a difficult thing, also because of time issues, of course. Having 2 kids and working on my art business, creating these videos. Yeah, it's not like in the school years that you have so much time for your friends, you know. And I think also somewhere deep inside me, I'm scared. I'm scared of having a friendship that intense, that intimate and close as I had with that one friend, because of being, abandoned in such a hurtful way. There's a part of me that is definitely scared of having to go through such thing again. Yeah.